Welcome to Storytime. Enjoy with me. Island for Sale by Anne Collins.
There are many islands in the sea near Scotland. This story is about one of these islands. The name of the island is Lana. Lana isn't big, but it's very beautiful. It's very quiet, too. There are no houses or roads or cars on Lana, but there's a castle. The castle is very old. A young Scotsman lives in the castle. The Scotsman's name is Duncan McTavish. Duncan lives in the castle with his dog, Jock. Duncan is very happy on his island. He likes going for walks with Jock. He likes swimming and fishing in his little boat. There are many big rooms in Duncan's castle. They have a lot of old things in them, pictures and heavy tables, chairs and beds. In winter, the castle is very cold and dark. Duncan puts on a lot of electric lights in all the rooms. One Monday morning in April, Duncan gets a letter. "What's this?" he asks. He opens the letter. It's from the electricity company. Duncan reads, "Electricity from October to March, £5,000. "Oh," Duncan says, "I haven't got £5,000. What can I do?" He's very unhappy. "I can do only one thing. Sell my island and my castle." Duncan telephones a man in London. The man's name is Mr. Moneybags. Mr. Moneybags sells houses and castles. "I want to sell my island and my castle," Duncan says. "Okay," Mr. Moneybags says. 2 days later, he telephones Duncan. "Leaping Larry wants to buy your island," he says. "Leaping who?" Duncan asks. "Leaping Larry. You know, the famous American rock star. He wants to buy your island for his girlfriend." "A rock star?" Duncan says. "Oh." "He wants to see the island tomorrow afternoon," Mr. Moneybags says. "Is that okay?" Yes," Duncan says. "Yes, of course." Leaping Larry and his girlfriend are coming to the island by helicopter. They're very late. Duncan and Jock wait a long time. Then the helicopter arrives. A tall man with long dark hair gets down from it. He's about 45 years old. There's a girl with him. She's about 20 and has long yellow hair. There's a small animal with her. The animal has long white hair. "Hi," the man says. "I'm Leaping Larry, and this is my girlfriend, Roxanne." "Hi," Roxanne says. "This is my dog, Bobo." Larry looks at the castle. "Look at that old castle, Roxanne," he says. "Don't you love it, honey?" Roxanne doesn't smile. It's only an old castle. Leaping Larry and Roxanne go into the castle. It's very dark. Leaping Larry can't see. He falls down. "Where are the lights?" he asks. "I'm sorry," Duncan says. "There isn't any light. The company stopped my electricity this morning." "I want some hot food," Roxanne says. "I'm sorry," Duncan says, "but I can't make hot food. I haven't got any electricity. But there is some cold food." "Cold food?" Roxanne says. "No, thank you. I'm going to bed. But first I want a hot bath. And Bobo wants a bath too." "I'm very sorry," Duncan says, "but there's no hot water." "No lights? No food? No hot water?" Roxanne says. "I don't like this place." "Now, honey," Leaping Larry says. "Don't call me honey," Roxanne says. "Let's go, Bobo." Roxanne and Bobo go to bed. Larry and Duncan eat cold food and talk. Jock watches them. Suddenly, Roxanne screams. Duncan, Larry and Jock run to her room. Roxanne is in bed with Bobo. "Honey, what's wrong?" Larry asks. "There was a noise in the room," Roxanne says. "What was it?" Duncan starts to smile. "Why are you smiling?" Roxanne says. She's very angry. "Look at Jock," Duncan says. Jock is under the bed. He has a mouse in his mouth. "A mouse!" Roxanne says. She screams again. In the morning, Duncan and Leaping Larry are waiting. Roxanne and Bobo are late. They get up at 11 o'clock. "Good morning," Duncan says. Roxanne doesn't answer. She says to Larry, "Larry, I don't like this place. I want to go home." "But, honey," Larry says. "Don't call me honey," Roxanne says. "This castle is old, dark, and very cold. There's no electricity, no food, and no hot water. And I don't like it. Do you understand?" "Listen, honey," Larry says. "We can build a big new house here. Our friends from California can come and stay." Duncan looks at Jock. Jock looks at Duncan. Build a big new house, they think. Oh no! Leaping Larry says, "We want to see the island." "Okay," Duncan says. "We can go in my boat." Duncan, Larry and Roxanne get into Duncan's boat. Jock gets in too. Bobo is with Roxanne. It's a beautiful day, but Roxanne isn't happy. "What do you do all day?" she asks Duncan. "I go for walks," Duncan says. "Sometimes I swim, and sometimes I catch fish." "Oh," Roxanne says. "That isn't very interesting." "Listen, honey," Larry says. "We can make the island interesting. I know people with film companies. They can come here and make films. Hundreds of films. Duncan looks at Jock. Jock looks at Duncan. Film companies, they think. Oh no.
To be continued.